This is Jewelyn. It is almost 4 p.m. Welcome back to my channel, and I'm trying to film 4 videos back to back, so the sun is shifting. But if you watch my channel, you know there is a big pine tree above me, but we're gonna work with the lighting, and I hope you guys enjoy this video. So in today's Planting with Jewelyn episode, it is my last Planting with Jewelyn episode for the month of August. I am traveling every week. I have a bunch of babies that have been sitting in their nursery planter for a good minute now, and if you know me, that really bothers me. So I like to get them planted up into their new homes as soon as possible, especially if I'm propagating and it gave me roots. It's time to be planted up. I bought a bunch of terracottas, which you will see in today's video that I shared in my plant haul that I filmed before this, so check it out. And I have my silver bin here set up with my potting tray and my Tiffany blue table, and this has cactus and succulent mix. So I'm going to try to work with all of my cactus and succulents that I have to plant up today, and then we'll switch it out to my Tiffany blue bin, which has houseplant soil. If you guys love this series, please let me know down in the comments below, and let me know what is your favorite plant of the episode, which I'm so excited to see the plant gang at the end of this video, because I never know what I have to plant up whenever I set up for this series. So I'm gonna go ahead and start with my samurai, which is a sansevieria that I picked up for $3, I think, $3 or $4 in Las Vegas. So it's been living in the nursery planter. Really wanted to plant it up in the last Planting with Jewelyn episode, but I didn't have any planters. This is a 6-inch fern style planter, nice and short. I love the aesthetic of this planter. So we're gonna go ahead and give this guy a new home. Here's the root condition here. Definitely needs a new home, and I will be giving everyone a water at the end of the video. I can't believe it is the end of August and it is in the 80s today. I did a workout on the rooftop yesterday and today after work, and it just feels nice to come home for a couple of days. Abby isn't here. She's in Las Vegas at my mom's for 1.5 months. So I definitely I'm really excited to see her tomorrow, and she was at Kira's house while I was in Hawaii. So she got to play with Pepper. This is very much needed, and I'm gonna have to do collection videos once I feel like my collection has been potted up in planters. I can go ahead and start doing collection videos, which I know I talk about a lot on my channel, that I will be doing that. So stay tuned for a collection series that will be coming up on my channel. Also, I will be doing a lot of content filming in Arizona in the month of September and October. I'll be out there. So if you're in Arizona, leave me a comment down below, and you never know, I may just meet up. So I think this is so stunning. Take a look at that. It is perfect. So the 6-inch fern pot, the terracotta pot, is perfect for the sansevierias, and I absolutely love it. So we're gonna switch off here. That is so cute. Now I have the devil's backbone, and it's looking kind of crazy because I took it apart yesterday to give a cutting to Tanya, and it was definitely root bound. Let's go ahead and stack the planters up here. And I took it apart just to see what the condition of the plant was, to see where I could get a cutting off of. So I want to kind of group it back together. I had asked Kira if she wanted a cutting of this guy, but she's scared with the Las Vegas weather that this is not going to do good. So I'm going to go ahead and stick them back together like they were, grouped up. And these are perfect to trade with plant friends. But for now, let's see if I can get them into this planter. And if I do need a bigger planter, I have an 8-inch, but I'm going to try to see if I can fit it in the 6-inch. And then give it some soil on the top. I think this looks good. Definitely don't want it to have too much space around it. I want it kind of nice and compact here. And then once I get it into placement, then I will top it off. I think this looks good. What do you think? It's kind of spread apart, but I think once it gets rooted in this planter, it'll be fine. I'm gonna have to get my smaller little shovel here in a second for my smaller guys that I have to plant up. But I've been needing to get this guy planted up. I think I've had it in my collection as my birthday plant for about maybe a week and a half, a week. So fairly new plant in my collection. Thank you, Catherine, for my birthday plant. It's absolutely interesting to say the least. And I think that's gonna do it for this guy here. Once I water it and it gets rooted down, it'll be nice and rounded in this planter. I think this is the perfect size. I think any bigger wouldn't look right. Here's the finished look. I'm telling you, this 6-inch fern pot is like, it's a good one. The 6 and the 4 is my favorite. So I love that next to each other. Moving along to the same 6-inch pot, you can see how I style different plants in them. Here is my trailing jade. Thank you guys for leaving comments in my plant haul video. You guys are amazing. The name of the plant, you guys definitely do. So that's the cool thing about the plant community. I'm gonna go ahead and take this guy out. I actually gave Tanya a cutting, a rooted cutting from this yesterday, and she was really excited about it. So let's go ahead and get this guy out, which I took out yesterday. And then if you see here, this is where I took the cutting from. Lots of roots here. I'm gonna soften up the root system just a little. And then we'll go ahead and put some soil on the bottom. I want a cutting of this one because she thinks that this won't like the Las Vegas weather, but she's doing really good. And don't worry guys, I will get her on my channel for a Meet My Plant Friend episode. She was actually the one that, her collection actually inspired me to get this series on my channel, and she was supposed to have been the first one on my channel, but she's always telling me that her collection is not ready, but her collection is ready, guys. She has an amazing plant collection, so hopefully, maybe, who knows, I'll film this weekend if she's up for it. But one of these, I definitely will get her onto my channel before the year ends. So let's go ahead and finish this guy up here. And at night, when I'm not filming and I'm home, I like to come out in my patio and do some pruning and some watering. The time that I do all those little things. And sometimes I do share that on a live on Instagram. So definitely follow me on Instagram to get bonus footage of my plant collection that I don't share on my channel. So I think this is amazing, and I'm going to be using another macrame for this particular guy because I think a macrame with this trailing jade is going to be stunning. So I think that is amazing and I absolutely love it. I know one of my subscribers said that if you put this in the sun, it'll change to like a purple color. But this is hanging on my wire hanging system here, and we'll see. Who knows? I know like Catherine's had a little bloom, so we'll see when mine's blooms. Here's my 8-inch fern pot, terracotta pot, which I will be using for my string of hooks. This guy has been in my collection for a while. I gave some cuttings to Tanya, and it is in the nursery planter, so I want to go ahead and get it out of this and put it back on my little wire hanging system. And I know it'll be happy once I get it out of this nursery planter. I'm pretty sure it's probably root bound, and I want to be very careful when I'm transplanting this guy because I don't like trailing succulents. They always fall apart when you touch them, so you have to be very careful. Alright, so I like to shift all the trails on one side, give it a little squeeze, and then cupcake it out of the planter like so. And then lay this on the ground. This is what the root system looks like. Not that bad, right? So all of the trails are here. I'm gonna go ahead and place 1 scoop of soil on the bottom, maybe 2 because this is an 8-incher. Yeah, that looks good. All right, then I'm going to soften up the roots here. Okay. And then I'm gonna have to sweep after this. Slowly press it into the planter and then make adjustments here. So let's take a look what's going on here. Okay, I'll take the sticker off of the planter after. So this is what it looks like. Let's go ahead and get it in front of me here. So let's see here. You are wild and crazy, but I definitely love a good trailing succulent. They're just so stunning to see hanging in the patio here. So I'm just gonna push down the soil here to get it nice and grounded in the planter. Again, all of my plants will get watered today, my whole collection, because I'm leaving tomorrow. So everybody will get a good water. And I just bring my hose in and I put them on the mist setting, and then everybody gets a nice shower and a mist. So what do you guys think about this? I think it looks stunning in an 8-inch. I think that was perfect. Here it is. And the trails are super long. I'm gonna put this in my other macrame hanger. See, right away, I use my stuff all the time. It never stays on my potting bench for too long. So I'm glad I got an 8-inch. I bought 2 of them, and I think this works out perfect for this size plant. So I'm gonna put this on the side, and then we're gonna work on our cuttings. So the next one that I wanna work on are these donkey tail cuttings. Now, do you remember my Bay Area plant cutting haul? These have been sitting in a water propagation for a good minute, and I'm gonna see if it looks better in my ice cream planter or in my short fern pot. We'll see. I'm gonna take it out of the water so you can see all the roots, which is looking pretty good, good enough for me. I think I'm gonna place them in the white planter because of the size of where it's at. So put some soil here and get them to a position that I like them in. A little bit more soil. Okay. That looks good there. This one looks good here. And we'll put this tall guy somewhere in the center here. I think I want it to go this way. I think that looks good. What do you guys think? Then I'm going to top it off with some soil. Can't believe it. They're getting new homes. This was such a nice surprise leaving the Bay Area with a cutting haul. You just never know who's into plants. So this is what it looks like, and again, this is a trailing succulent, so it goes in all different directions. I think I'm gonna leave it like this and kind of see where it takes off, and I think it's going to look super cute in my plant shelf area. We'll see if I can find some room, but I'm definitely not trying to get them to stick up straight because that's not really the look of this plant. It does trail over. So I'm gonna let it find its way in this planter, but I think for now I wanna leave it like this. So I have 3 small cacti cuttings that I wanna put in just little nursery planters until it gets bigger and then they can get a nice planter. So I got this little guy here from Catherine. The camera can pick it up with this lighting. Don't know what this is, but I'm gonna go ahead and stick it in this little planter here. It'll go in my rescue section until it gets a little bit bigger, and then I'll go ahead and transplant it to a cute little small terracotta planter. But for now, it'll live here and on the propagation station. So here he is right there, looking cute. And then she also gave me a cutting here. Don't know what this is, and this was propagating on my bench for maybe about 2 weeks. So here's the roots here. I'm gonna try to see if I can get it in this guy here. I know it's a little leggy. Let's see here. Interesting little guy here. Never seen him before. If you do know what this is, comment down below. I'm sure Catherine would love to know as well. And this will live on my propagation bench as well. And then what else we got here? Last cutting from Catherine is this guy here. There's little pricklies on it, so I wouldn't be surprised by me grabbing it like that. I'll get little pokies. But it's calloused over, and I'm gonna go ahead and stick it right into the soil and get it grounded in this little planter until it starts growing a little bit more on me, and then we'll go from there. So the last cutting that Kat got me, which is a variegated elephant's bush, elephant's food, I've been propagating it on my bench for about 2 weeks. I'm gonna put it in a nursery planter until it gets a little bit bigger, and it'll live on my propagation station shelf with the rest of my cuttings until it gets bigger. So thank you, Catherine, for these little cuttings. She gave these to me about 2 weeks ago. Never shared it on my channel, but it's been propagating on my potting bench. Yeah. So these are the cuttings that Kat gave me. Thank you, Kat. And then she also gave me another little guy. She gave me 2 cuttings, bigger cuttings. So the other 2 cuttings she gave me is this guy here, which I have been propagating for a while. And then here's the other one that she gave me yesterday from our last Come With Me. So I'm gonna plant them up in these ice cream jars. It's an interesting shape, but we'll work with it. Okay. So that's that, and hopefully it'll stand up straight in time. And then we'll give this guy a white planter, and this cracked while it was transporting to my place, but it's still good, so I'm gonna use it. And we'll just make sure that faces the back of the shelf so you can't see the crack. And then if you face it this way, you can't even tell. So thanks, Kat. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cuttings from Catherine. And then these are the 2 biggest ones. So thank you, Kat, for the plant friend cuttings. And then moving along to some of the cuttings that I had propagated from the Bay Area cutting haul that the donkey's tail also came from. So here is an aeonium that has been rooting. I believe this one is also from her collection in the Bay. I'm gonna put it in another ice cream planter. Now I may go and look into my collection, and if I see a bunch of small ones like this, I'll just group them up into one planter. Or I can also give this as a plant tray cutting, but for now it has an interesting shape. We'll leave it in here. I think that's doable. And then moving along to these guys. All right, so these are plant cuttings from the Bay Area. As you can see, there is tons of roots here, and it has like an interesting shape to it. So I'm gonna put it into the 4-inch fern pot and see how I can get this in here without compromising its shape. It does trail over the planter. It's one of those, but I don't want to break it because it's so fragile here. So let's see if I can get it like this, and then this guy can go here. Oh, there we go, just by me doing that. Okay, I know it looks crazy, guys, but we're just gonna work with it. I definitely wanted to get it out of the water propagation before I leave for a handful of days. So we'll just leave it as this. I'm gonna face it towards this direction, towards the sun, to see if it'll change shape on me. But anytime you get these trailing type of plants, succulents are fragile and then the petals end up falling off. But it's all good. If it calluses over, you can go ahead and plop it on the same planter, and then it'll root up to a different whole new plant, and you'll just get more plants. So this is finally potted up. I'll see how it looks like in like 2 weeks or so. I can always take it out, or I could always just take every single guy off and propagate it laying down just like this guy and get new babies. So for now it's planted up, and that's really all that I wanted to do for that guy. So I have a 6-inch fern pot here, and I have my curly spider plant. It's been hanging out in the background of my planting with Jewelyn videos, and I've been looking for a white hanging planter for this guy. Haven't found one, so for now it's going to just get transplanted into this terracotta until I figure out what I want to do with him. It did turn a little pale, and I know it's not happy being right directly in the center of my wire system. I will put this guy indoors, maybe on my plant shelf, or maybe in my bathroom while I am away for these days, and see how it does in my bathroom. And I think maybe after I transplant it, it'll be much happier and it'll start turning a little bit darker green. But spider plants are so easy, and you know, they're great givers. So if you watch Tanya's episode that I had filmed yesterday, her spider cutting that I gave her from my other mother plant is really big and healthy because she has it in her kitchen window. So don't like when they give this wire hangers, but it is what it is. So without breaking the plant, let's go ahead and get this off. And then I will definitely prune these babies and get them all nice and good to go after the video. But let's go ahead and check out the root system here. Okay, so they love to give a lot of roots, so it was definitely root bound and overdue for its new home, and I knew that, but I was looking really hard for like the perfect planter. So spider plants are very rooty. This is like the typical root bound plant that you will get in your collection, but I'm just, you know, breaking it apart a little bit just to give it a little bit of love, and then it'll do better in its new home. So I have my houseplant soil here, my Tiffany blue bin. I'm gonna put some on the bottom, not too much. Oh. And then get it nice and deep in this planter here. But I'm definitely gonna move it because it's not happy being where it's at on my wire hanging system right in the center, in the back of this table here. But everybody will get a water after this, which is my weekly chore, having plants in my space. And I usually tend to water my plants in the evening at the end of my workday. So this is the current look. I think it is perfect. What do you guys think? It looks better already, and I'm sure after I give it a water, it'll settle into its new home and it'll give me more babies. But for now, it's looking like this. So I'm just going to dedicate my last two 6-inch planters to my begonias. I don't like begonias in terracotta. I don't like the look. I have one empty white planter here, which I will maybe try to use for the shorter guy. We'll see how it looks like when I take it out of the planter. And this had actually my smallest Potos and Joy in here on my plant shelf inside of my home, but I had, I think, given that cutting, maybe, I'm not sure, to Tanya. But we're gonna just go ahead and use this for, let's see what it looks like, this begonia. If not, I'll just put it in both matching planters. So this is the Louis Burke's begonia. It's nice and spotted. Shared it on my last plant haul, which I had filmed right before this. So here is what it looks like in the planter. I see some baby roots in here, small ones. I want to see what it looks like in here. What do you guys think? It could work. Okay, because ideally I would love to have my begonias in white planters. I think that's the look that I like. I'm just gonna leave it like this. So this guy will get the white planter, which I think works perfect for this guy. Oh, it's so beautiful. So too bad I don't have another white planter for this guy here. But let's go ahead and get this guy here. So here is the roots here, and then I'll put it in here for now. If I find another white planter, I'll definitely switch it. Maybe I do have white planters, but we'll just do this for now. All right. Kind of settle it in here. Get it to the center as much as possible. Let me know down in the comments below if you guys love begonias and how many begonias do you have. I know people who love begonias love to collect them. And this is going to be now, I got one begonia cutting from Tanya. They're cute. And then I have my angel wing begonia that I got last year. And then these two. So I have 4 begonias now in my collection. And I think it's just stunning. I love their leaves. I love their blooms. And it's kind of like Hoyas with me. I love their blooms and their leaves. So this is what it's going to look like. I mean, it looks great for being in a terracotta, but I don't like begonias in terracottas. I'd rather have it in a white planter. If you can see the difference here. Big difference. But I'm glad I was able to plant it up. So now that all of my plant babies that needed to be potted up in dirt is potted up in dirt, I have a bunch of cuttings that I got from Tanya yesterday that I want to set up in water propagation. So let's go ahead and do that. I have all of my plant babies here that I planted up, ganged up here for the end of the video. I have all of my water propagation bottles here filled up. And what I did to the cuttings that Tanya gave me was I took off the bottom leaves so that they don't get in the water and they will propagate easy. And we're just gonna go ahead and stick them in here, and they will live on my potting bench until they root up for me, which I definitely don't think they'll have no problems doing for me because I always have such good luck having them on my potting bench. So just gonna try to get them into placement. So just very simple, getting that bottom right in the water, nothing else. And then I have this guy here, so I took off the bottom leaves here. And we're just going to stick that into water. I think I can get another one in here as well. We'll put 2 in this guy here. And then I have these small guys, stick the bottoms in here. So once they are rooted up in water, I have them all here. We'll go ahead and plant them up in the next planting with Jewelyn. Also, what I'm going to do for my biggest cutting, which I got today, my fiddle leaf fig, I have this jar here of water, which is from Trader Joe's, from one of the juices that I got there. And I'm not too sure what I'm gonna do yet with this cutting because it is so big. Here it is. I don't know if I should cut it back, but I'm going to just stick it into this glass water bottle and see what it does for me in the next 2 weeks, 3 weeks. I see all of these here, which will give off roots. So if you look here, if I'm not mistaken, if you have these guys in the water where they branch off, these will give me roots. So I have a bunch of them in water, and we're just gonna keep an eye on them because it has this interesting shape here. It's just gonna sit on my wicker chair and just kind of, maybe I can just leave it here and it'll rest against the back of my chair and in water here. So definitely interesting project here. It's definitely a project, an experiment if you want to call it, because I just wanted to see if I could really root this or not, and why not? It was gonna get trashed, and I love this tree a lot. I always look at it at my job, and it'd be so cool if I'm able to get roots out of this guy. I will keep you guys posted. What I'm gonna do before I wrap up the video is I'm gonna place my 2 hanging succulents, my trailing guys, in these macrames. Now I do have the S hook here, which is S hooks that I got a while back from Daiso Japan, and I think what I'm gonna do is, I'm trying to remember how I did it last time. Let's see here, it's tangled up. Let's go ahead and untangle it. I think it goes like this. Let's see here, let's do it one more time and I think I'd be good. Here. Confusing myself. Alright, so there it is. I think what I'm gonna do is hang it like this so that it's hung up here. I have my S hook here and I have my macrame, and then we are going to get this guy in here without damaging any of them. So let's see here. Hold it on the bottom and then get it over. Find the center of the macrame like so. That looks good. And then now we're gonna spread it on all sides. So let's bring this guy over to this side here. Good thing this thing is hardy, because if it was the donkey's tail, well, we won't be doing this, that's for sure. It's such a fragile plant, but this one is a little bit forgiving. So that looks good on this end. And I want to shift it a little bit. There it is. I think that looks right. Oh my goodness, it is so cute. And then let's get this guy on this side. This is stressing me out. Okay, hold on. Get stuck in there. Let's bring this guy on this side. Not gonna mess with it too much because it's probably hating me right now for doing this. But once it gets a nice water, it'll love me. So I think this is good, guys. Could maybe bring this guy over here. But what do you guys think? I think this looks pretty good. Just do that here. All right, so this is the look of this planter. Let's bring it up here in the back. That looks so adorable. And when I get back next week, I'll go ahead and spread it out a little bit more, but that looks pretty good to me, guys. So let's go ahead and do the same thing for my trailing jade here. So without damaging this guy here, let's do this here. And then we're gonna dedicate this macrame to my trailing jade. Oh boy, can't wait. So I open up the macrame like this and then get it in the center. So I hold the bottom of the planter and then I get it in the center. Pull the trails through nice and slow. And then I find the center and then I let it sit on the bottom of the planter. I think that looks pretty good. And then just shift it to get it nice and centered in the macrame. I think this looks great. Take a look at this. How adorable is this? I am obsessed. If I had big, nice windows in my home, this would definitely be right by the natural lighting in my inside of my home. But for now, it'll be out here. So we got my 2 hanging plants right here and a bunch of plants here. So let's go ahead, clean up, and wrap up the video. Right, guys, so here is a quick little overview of today's Planting with Jewelyn's plant gang. I got a bunch of cuttings into dirt, a bunch of cuttings into water, and my new and old babies got new homes, and some got put up in my new macrames. So this is a quick little overview I wanted to share with you guys because it's definitely a lot of plants, and we're gonna give it some water and some misting. So here is the finished plant gang. I even figured out how to get the fiddly fig cutting in the shot, but I have my string of hooks and my trailing jade in brand new terracottas and macrames that I picked up in today's plant haul. I have my curly spider plant as well, put in a terracotta, along with my new plants, my birthday plant, which is my devil's backbone from Catherine, my begonias that I picked up in this week's plant haul are planted up, and then Catherine gave me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cuttings. So thank you, Kat, for today's little plant haul. And then I also got the cuttings from Tanya put into water for water propagation, and then I got a few cuttings from the Bay Area finally rooted up, and they've been rooted up for a while, but I finally had some planters to give them. So, you know, I even got my one plant from Las Vegas, my sansevieria here, my samurai sword, in today's video planted up. So I'm really excited. But I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cuttings from Kat, a bunch of cuttings from Tanya, along with my big cutting. My fiddle leaf fig is my experiment. We'll see how it takes off in a couple of weeks, along with new and old babies planted up. So I hope you guys enjoyed the little plant haul from Catherine, along with today's Planting with Jewelyn episode for the month of August. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This is my third out of fourth video I am filming back to back today before I head out to Las Vegas tomorrow. I am going to give everybody a mist with my misting bottle, which I shared on a Daiso Japan haul before. And then I also have my picture that I got from Daiso Japan. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to water them, and my whole collection will get watered up today. So this is just for the video, but I will be giving everybody a water today. My whole collection will get watered today, and it's like a mist and water all at the same time. But for the purpose of this video, and I know like in my old Planting with Jewelyn episodes, I used to do this a lot. At the end of the video, I used to water them. But I have my misting bottle, and basically I just do a nice mist to all of the new plant babies, especially like the little guys who are in these small planters. I give them a little bit more so their soil is nice and moist. And that is going to wrap up the video. Let me know down in the comments below, what did you think about today's big Planting with Jewelyn episode. I always manage to like plant up a lot of babies, and I never think I have anything to plant up, but I think I made use of a bunch of planters that I picked up in today's plant haul. So if you guys are interested, go ahead and watch the plant haul video that will be posted up before this video to see all of the planters that I picked up. But this is going to wrap up today's video. Let me know down in the comments below what was your favorite plant of today's episode. Again, I have plant friend cuttings that either got water propagated or put into dirt from the Bay Area, from Tanya, from Catherine, and then my old plants and my new plants potted up. So it's always a mixture I see that I always end up planting up in my episode. I hope this inspired you to style more plants and green into your space. If you aren't subscribed, please subscribe to my channel. Share my channel with anyone who loves plants just as much as I do, or anyone who needs plant inspiration, new to plants. I hope I inspired you, and I love doing these type of videos. It's my therapeutic hour from my busy weeks, my busy work days, and this is something that I'm very passionate about, and my collection grows by the week. So stay tuned for more plant videos, and stay tuned for my Pot of Fame August edition, which I think I might focus on trailing plants. I think that is going to be the theme for this month's Pot of Fame. If you guys want, definitely leave a comment down below, thumbs up the video. If you guys enjoyed this episode of Planting with Jewelyn, I appreciate if you guys give me a thumbs up, leave a comment down below, and I'll see you guys on the next one. You can find more on my blog at ilovejewelyn.blogspot.com. Until next time, aloha from Santa Monica. Bye!